Do you want to learn more about Gig Harbor or Tacoma, Washington? Either one of those? If so, then watch this video. My name is Darren Rivers. I am the Northwest Realtor, and welcome to living in either Gig Harbor or Tacoma, Washington. I actually have two channels, and this video is going to go out to both of those. It's kind of one thing, and it's because I really want to get your take on stuff. So any feedback that you guys can give me on your opinions on this subject, and questions you want answered, please let me know. All of my contact information is right here. Feel free to give me a call directly, a text message, or an email even, or you can put a comment in the comment section of this video, and I'll apply it that way, or reply that way, I should say. So anyway, Gig Harbor area, Tacoma area, all of Pierce County, really, that's what this is going to be about, and I want your feedback on the following items. So you might be asking, what kind of feedback do I want? Well, let me get into that. As you guys know, if you're subscribers to either one of my channels or just seeing things for the first time on there, I try to educate people on the areas. You know, I often get people that are moving here from out of state for job purposes or family purposes or whatever it might be, and they want to learn about the area. So I try to educate them as best I can as to what Gig Harbor may have to offer, as to what Tacoma may have to offer. The cities surrounding those areas like University Place, Lakewood, all of those come into play. And I really try to educate you guys on, you know, how the school district is, what the crime rate is like, just the vibe of the communities. You know, that's part of my job as a real estate agent, is to help my clients make educated decisions on areas that they want to live. So the reason I bring all this up is I recently encountered an issue where somebody in my industry kind of insinuated that I was quote unquote steering people away from different areas and trying to get them to buy in one place versus another. And just to make it clear, that is absolutely not whatever that I've tried to do. What I really try to do is, like I mentioned earlier, is educate people on what the areas are like. Because it's real life. You know, if you're going to be purchasing a home and you're going to be spending hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, you want to know what kind of area that you're going to be living in. So I try to supply statistics based on real data. I just don't make it up, you know, based on real data as far as what the crime rates are in certain areas, how the school districts are rated. You know, I throw everything in there from like the weather reports, basically, you know, statistically how much rain we get, statistically how much traffic we have, all the ratings and that, and all of them come from research that I've done through various websites, and I always quote those websites. But it's been interpreted by a particular person that I'm trying to steer people away from certain areas. The interesting thing about that accusation, if you will, is the last thing I'm trying to do is steer anybody away from any areas. My job, my livelihood, how I make a living and put my kids through college is to help people buy and sell houses. So I want people to buy houses in all of these areas. I just want them to buy, you know, my job is also to be their advocate, look out for their best interests, and try to help them decide where that best place is. And there's so many things that come into play with that. You know, what their budget is, what kind of area do they want to live in? You know, I mean, all of that comes into play. And so I just do the best I can to provide that information for my clients, and for, you know, that's what these channels are about. These channels, living in Gig Harbor, Washington and living in Tacoma, Washington, they're not necessarily real estate channels. They're really just to educate people about the area and what the areas have to offer and all those sort of things. Real estate just kind of comes into play with them. And of course, I'm trying to get clients through these channels. I mean, like I said, that's how I make a living. But so here's my question for you. So let me get to my questions for you guys. My questions are do you want this kind of information? Do you want to know, statistically speaking, from data that law enforcement websites put out there, all the statistics? Do you want data on crime rate? Do you want data on what the school ratings are? Do you want that kind of information? If I was purchasing a home in an area that I was unfamiliar with, and especially if I had children in school and things like that, I personally would absolutely want that kind of information. That's why I've tried to supply it earlier. So I want to know what kind of data you want. And of course, everybody wants to know all the fun things to go do. We can put roses on everything and make it all look glorious. But we all know that's not reality in every situation. Every single area is going to have its issues. I don't care if you're in $20 million homes in Beverly Hills, there's going to be issues. So do you guys want that kind of information, or do you want somebody that's just gonna paint a glorious picture of what the area may be like when there might be other things that you should consider? So that's my question. This is a very atypical video for what I normally do. Like I mentioned, most of my videos are teaching about the area. I've done videos on traffic. I've done videos on activities that are taking place in a certain month. I've done videos on bike trails throughout the communities. I've done videos, of course, on all the different schools. In Gig Harbor particularly, I went through every school there was. Tacoma, there's way too many schools. It's just too big. I'm not going to go through all 68 or 86, or I forgot the number. It's something like that, how many schools there are. There's a lot. I do videos on the cost of living, on how much taxes are, and all that sort of stuff. So all that's education for you guys as a consumer, as a citizen here, as somebody that wants to learn about the area. That's all information for you. So if you want the down and dirty, nitty gritty, the good, bad, and the ugly, please let me know. I will find a way to deliver that information to you in a way that is allowable and abides by all the rules without me steering people away from different areas. And like I've mentioned before, I never, ever, ever steer anybody away from a particular area. I have sold and helped purchase homes in very high-end, expensive neighborhoods, and I've helped people sell or purchase homes in less expensive neighborhoods. I do it all, and that's how I make a living. So I'm certainly not steering anybody away, but I am definitely trying to educate you so you can make the best choice for you and your family, and I think that's the right thing to do. So if you have any opinion on this subject, if you have any thoughts, any ideas, if you want to make some comments on here, please do. Again, all my information's right here. My name is Darren Rivers. I am the Northwest Realtor, and we'll see you on a more fun video next time.